overall seed in the AFC following a 29-10 win over the Steelers on Christmas Day. The last time KC was the number one seed, Patrick Mahomes and company won Super Bowl 57 against the Eagles. Travis Kelce, 8 catches and a touchdown, becoming the third tight end in NFL history with over 1,000 career catches and the franchise leader in career touchdown receptions with 77. Meanwhile, the Steelers scored a season-low 10 points and dropped their third straight. The Ravens took advantage and now have a one-game lead in the AFC North after a 31-2 win over the Texans. Lamar Jackson rushed for 87 yards and a touchdown, surpassing Michael Vick for the most rushing yards in NFL history by a quarterback. Baltimore moves to 11-5.
Can I sit down?
No, because I'm going to do one last.
This has been NFL Network Now on the Westwood One Radio Network.
There.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate restrictions apply.
All right.
Details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hi, I'm Dr. Peter Stahl, board-certified urologist.
Who are they going to
Vice
get to
President of
engineer
Men's
the
Sexual
show
Health at HIMSS. I've helped many guys with ED in my 12 years of practice.
Tommy's going to do it
Now
all?
you can get world-class care for ED 100% online by going to HIMSS.com. So what are you waiting for?
To start your free online visit and find ED treatment at up to 95% off brand name prices, go to hims.com/joy.
Life insurance. Why are you putting it off? Can't afford it? Too much hassle? Think you don't need it? There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you could be covered in 10 minutes and boom, family protected. Ethos, fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at tryethos.com. That's tryethos.com.
You want to handle the stuff off the top one? Yeah, I got it.
Now, from Wichita's most listened to sports radio, 97.5 and 1240 KFH. This is Sports Daily with Jacob Albrecht and Tommy Kester.
No Jacob Albrecht, no Tommy Kester in for you today. Instead, Brandon Zenner, Paul Savage, Jed Chambers producing this thing today. It's a Thursday, the day after Christmas. We hope everyone had a Merry Christmas, a Happy Holidays. Well, Paul, how about you? How was yours? Let's hear it. I'm always enthused to hear other people's Christmas traditions.
Had a great time. Saw my grandson. Got to see my daughter. I had some of the best omelet casserole. Yeah, eggs in a casserole type. Oh, it was great. Anytime I can talk good food on Christmas Day, it's a success.
It must have been so good because Jed and I weren't brought any leftovers this morning. So,
oh, gosh. Now I'm feeling bad. Are you proud of yourself? Now I feel bad.
No.
Here we are getting ready to do our first show together, and I'm feeling bad right off the get-go. Thanks a lot, buddy.
We got 2 more hours of this. So strap in.
Jad says, get him. Get him, Brandon. Get him. Don't you, Jad?
Well, I don't know. I don't know. Does omelet casserole sound really that good right now, or would you rather have like a nice steak or a burger or something right now?
Eggs can be eaten at any meal of the year, breakfast, lunch, dinner. There's been times I've walked into an IHOP, one of our sponsors, 6 o'clock in the evening, said, give me a couple eggs over easy, hash browns and whole wheat toast buttered. That's what I'll tell you what, it's like eating a KC strip for me.
I mean, they got that decadent French toast, though. There's a lot of talk about pancakes, waffles. It's the French toast for me.
Yeah, good. Well, see, so everybody gets their own little meal on Christmas Day. You know, Santa likes cookies. It's okay with me.
So omelet casserole, is that the staple of the Savage household?
Well, it's not because I don't get it very often, but boy, oh boy, I like it when it comes around.
Are you guys a turkey, a ham? What?
Yes, and yes.
What was the spread? That's what I'm trying to. That's what I'm trying to get at, Paul.
Oh well, that plus they had some casseroles. I'm not sure. You know, I never
was
know.
there anything other than casseroles?
Yeah, 2 or 3 casseroles, and I'm never sure what's in them. You know, you can look at a casserole and go, "What the hell's in that?" You know, and you never know. But anyway, that's what it was. But we had a great time. How about you, big boy?
Yeah, so it was just me, the parents, the dog, back in Kansas City, Missouri.
Oh, good
where they are from. We were a ham family for the longest time. We always do the turkey on Thanksgiving, and then we made the switch. We've done ham on Christmas. But I'll tell you, the best thing that's ever happened to our family until I have a beautiful nephew who's going to be born in February was getting my dad a smoker.
Oh,
The
good.
best thing that's ever happened to our family.
I'm telling you.
Because then about 5 years ago, we made the switch Christmas Day prime rib, which I know is becoming a very popular thing.
Ooh.
And it's changed the way we holiday forever.
Well, I don't mean to usurp you as the lead host on this show today, which you are. Congratulations. But you mind if I ask Jad? Well, Jad, it's only fair. You know, I love your mom and dad. They're wonderful people. Your dad's doing okay. How was your Christmas day with the family? I just got to know.
Didn't really have one, actually. Not yet.
You did? What?
Not yet, anyway. I've got two older brothers. Both of their in-law families were having something else.
Oh, I see.
And so they had Christmas Day away. We have scheduled our big family one for later. So
okay, good. Well, good. Well, then it will be good. We'll want to update on how that goes, but it was a good day for family, and you're going to make that up, so that's good. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's all I needed to know. I'll see you guys later. That's all I've got for the show. I'll talk to you
for
guys
us on Sports Daily. Now I do feel bad because Christmas is usually like one of the holidays where you sit down, you're with the family all day. But Paul, I think there's some new traditions that are coming up, not just in the Zenner household. I'm not sure if they were in the Savage household, but probably across America. And that's because, well, it used to be a holiday about gifts and for some people, basketball.
Okay.
I think it's now a holiday.
Oh.
You know where I'm going about this?
Yes, I do.
It's a holiday all about football.
All
about football.
All about it.
Netflix and NFL. I was a little skeptical going into yesterday, but they knocked it out of the park.
Mm-hmm.
A few buffering issues, a few streaming issues, but as far as the teams that we expected to see prevail yesterday, the Kansas City Chiefs and the Baltimore Ravens,
right,
both put on MVP Super Bowl level caliber products on the field. Beyonce with a great halftime show that felt like it was a Super Bowl. It felt like a playoff weekend of football.
It did.
The scores maybe didn't reflect it, but just the magnitude, all the eyes on it. Netflix, NFL, they crushed it yesterday.
Right.
And they remade Christmas, I think, in the United States going forward.
By the way, there's some NBA players and coaches not happy with this too, by the way.
I mean, why would they be?
Well, that's right. I guess that makes common sense. But they're airing their grievances. I mean, they're actually out there talking to the media about how, well, they don't like it. I mean, it's kind of, we've always kind of sat down and watched NBA basketball because that's what we do. Thanksgiving is, of course, NFL, and we can't have a Thanksgiving without having the Detroit Lions on. So, I mean, we get it. We understand that. But there's some jealousy in the NBA, and rightfully so. They should be. But the NFL is looking for what? Eyeballs. That's what they're looking for. They're looking for reasons for people to tune them in. And on Christmas Day, I think a lot of households, I'm not going to say most because I don't know. I'm just speaking off the top of my head. Obviously, I don't have any stats to back this up. But wouldn't you say 75% of the households would choose NFL football over NBA basketball, even though the Lakers are playing, LeBron and his gang,
Mm-hmm.
and even you've got the Kansas City Chiefs, which even makes it worse because everybody loves the Chiefs now. I mean, you can be on a coast, East Coast, West Coast, down south.
They are America's team now.
They're America's team. That's exactly right. So you got a problem there, and I'm sure that when the numbers come out, I don't think the numbers have come out yet, have they?
I haven't seen anything comparing NBA to NFL.
I would like to know that.
We did have some stats from the Chiefs on Netflix yesterday. This, according to Netflix, it's already the second most popular live title on Netflix to date, I believe, behind the Mike Tyson, Jake Paul live fight. I don't know about the Ravens. I haven't seen anything about the Ravens game last night, but with the Beyonce halftime show, I'm sure they were up there as well. Nearly 1/3 of all Netflix concurrent views at that time were on Chiefs.
Yeah.
Steelers. So you have people watching. I don't know if you're a Love is Blind guy. You don't even know what that is.
I do not know.
It's a Netflix dating show.
Oh, for God's sakes. Of course you would. You and Jad probably are both on that thing. I know.
We can talk about it in the break. We have everyone that was tuned into Netflix, 1/3 of the people watching Netflix yesterday were watching the Chiefs game. And Netflix clips peak concurrent viewers of any Christmas in the past 4 years. And a lot of that, more eyes than ever were on Netflix yesterday. which means just about more eyes than ever were on the NFL yesterday.
Boy, the NFL's gaining momentum. I mean, you would think at some point you would have to max out on, well, attention, eyeballs, doesn't seem to be the case though, does it, Brandon? It seems like, what's the limit? I mean, seriously, what is the limit for NFL, love, following? You're going to have people that don't know the difference between cover 2 and cover 3 going, I'm going to watch the NFL this week, and I don't care what coverage they run. It's just you're at that point. Or I like their uniforms. I've actually made Friday football picks based upon what uniforms they're wearing. And sometimes it works, sometimes not. But, I mean, you're getting eyeballs of a lot of people. Not all these people are going to be familiar with the game of football like you and I are.
They have, saying I'm familiar with the game of football, that is as good of a compliment as
there you go.
I can get.
Well, you do a good job. You know more than the average bear, I'll put it that way.
Yeah, the NFL now dominates the entire sports calendar, and yesterday was just one more viewing of that. We have a big show coming up in the 10 o'clock hour. Cole Carmody of Go PowerCat is going to step in for Fitz. We're going to break down Chiefs. We're going to talk about the Rape Bowl tonight. A lot going on right here on Sports Daily with Brandon Zenner, Paul Savage, Jet Chambers. We'll have more right after this break.
Just because it's 4 o'clock doesn't mean your day's wrapping up. Get the facts first on 12 News at 4. It doesn't matter where you are. In the office, on the road, or on your couch, 12 News is everywhere. Bringing you the story as it happens, catching you up on everything you need to know, and giving you your first look at the next 10 days from Storm Team 12. Watch weekdays on KWCH and KSPW. 12 News at 4. Facts first.
Hey, Wichita, Jim Rome here, celebrating over 25 years as the #1 midday sports talk show on Wichita Radio. Find out why. Tune into The Jungle, weekdays 11 until 2 on 97.5 and 1240 KFH.
Sometimes people tell us, I don't get it, it's just tea. But let me tell you, we are so much more than just tea. With 20 plus flavors of sweet and unsweet iced tea, the possibilities are endless. Come on in and try them all for free to find your favorite or get us on the go for your busy lifestyle. And don't miss happy hour every day. So the next time someone tells you it's just tea, tell them to come by and find out why we say drink tea, be happy.
Clouds are not just the canvas of our imagination. They tell a story. Clouds affect the events of your day. Sometimes they growl, sometimes they inspire, but they're always the messengers of nature's mood, written in the sky. Storm Team 12 understands the language of clouds. We're dedicated to decoding their message so you know what to expect. Behind every cloud, there is a story waiting to be told. Trust Ross Jansen and Storm Team 12, alerting you first to the impact on your life.
When you need help, remember, you're not alone. We are here. We are neighbors. We are together. We are Kansas. We are 12 News.
They say it takes a village. Come together and support local businesses in our neighborhoods. When you contribute to local shops, more money goes back into the economy. Shopping local makes our state stronger. So give back to the communities you love and watch our businesses and communities thrive. Shop local and be Kansas proud.
We are following a breaking update.
Every day, all day, stream the stories that have you talking near and far.
Whoever is behind the wheel of this bus is not stopping.
From hundreds of local reporters and meteorologists spanning the country.
Chaos here this morning at the UW campus.
Search LNL for the all-new Local News Live streaming app.
Make yourself known now.
310-01 in traffic pursuit.
Oh my God, here.
Investigate TV Plus begins with real people.
We investigate stories that impact you.
And inspire change every day.
Something is broken.
Real problems.
Why are they hiding it?
And real solutions.
My daughter was dying in front of me.
What was your reaction when he said that?
Investigate TV Plus, weekdays at 3:30 p.m. on KWCH.
Sometimes people tell us, I don't get it, it's just tea. But let me tell you, we are so much more than just tea. With 20 plus flavors of sweet and unsweet iced tea, the possibilities are endless. Come on in and try them all for free to find your favorite or get us on the go for your busy lifestyle. And don't miss happy hour every day. So the next time someone tells you it's just tea, tell them to come by and find out why we say drink tea, be happy.
Mornings are busy. We're here to make your mornings better. We report the stories that affect you.
3 more hospital lies from contaminated apple juice just a day after the FDA issue a recall.
We're here to make your mornings better.
Closing east and westbound lanes of K96 for repairs.
With 12 News, you're prepared for your whole day.
Scattered thunderstorms across the state into the afternoon.
Stay a step ahead with 12 News this morning on KWCH and KSCW.
Welcome back into Sports Daily. It's a Thursday with Brandon Zenner, Paul Savage, Jed Chambers producing this thing. Jed, during the break, I saw you get out. It seems like you came back in with a cup. It was steaming a little bit. What you got there?
Well, of course, mornings here at KFH, you always enjoy our Prairie Fire coffee. So that's what I decided to go and grab. Nice cup of Prairie Fire coffee.
There you go. It's good stuff. Brandon, it's good.
Yeah, I haven't dove into the coffee yet. It's the holiday season, you know, some bugs flying around. So we're being precautious. We're just drinking the tea for now. But in not too long, I'm going to be hit up our friends at Prairie Fire as well. Now the Chiefs big winners in more ways than one yesterday, Paul. 29-10 over Pittsburgh on the road. A game where the Chiefs come out. They scored 2 touchdowns. They scored 13 points early on. They put the hammer down with 2 more late touchdowns. And I think we were wrong about the Chiefs all season, Paul. They're not frauds. People thought that with this offense, the way that they were just never in sync, the defense was in flux in the middle of the year. They've had the injuries. It just didn't look like Patrick Mahomes was this quarterback who couldn't turn the ball over. But we do this to ourselves every year. Why do we do this to ourselves every single year?
Human nature.
But then December comes around, and we see what the Chiefs are. They're a team now that they're 15-1. No team since we have gone to a 17-game regular season in the NFL has ever won 15 games. The Kansas City Chiefs, this version of the Chiefs, is the first to do that. They get the first round bye thanks to that 29-10 win yesterday. Their only loss is to Buffalo Bills, who look like with one more win, they're going to wrap up the second seed in the AFC. And so the AFC is once again going to go through Kansas City. But you know better than anybody. They talk about you want to be playing your best football at the right time. There's no better time than now. And Paul, I hate to say it for the rest of the league, but I think the Chiefs are playing their best football.
Well, they are. And here's the thing. I think their grade of football has been pretty good. See, Brandon, I don't think people can overestimate just exactly what the phrase, and you know what I'm going to be talking about, getting someone's best shot.
Yep.
I don't think people understand how good that can be, how good that shot can be. We're in the NFL. If I'm not mistaken, Brandon, correct me if I am mistaken, all the other teams that Kansas City is playing pays their players as well. So they're all professional football teams. That means they're all pretty good. And when you get everybody's everybody's team after team after team after team. Every team you get their best shot. Man, that's tough. That's some good shots. Because, human nature is it's hard. It's hard to get up and play everybody the way you need to play, like in a championship game or somebody that's really good. I mean, you're going to play maybe somebody like the Saints or somebody like that, maybe the Raiders, maybe you don't get up. I mean, you go through the motions and that's okay. You don't spend that emotional chip because you need that for later. But every game that the Chiefs have played this year, it's been best shot, hasn't it?
Every single game.
Every single game.
Especially, we talked so much about this stretch. Even when the season came out, 3 games in 11 days. In the end, it ended up being back-to-back playoff teams, the Texans and the Steelers. We're going to see them in the big dance coming up next month. They're going to finish up against the Broncos, who are just 1 win away from being a playoff team. And yet 3 games in 11 days, this might have been when we saw the Chiefs' best version of football. 21-7 win at the Browns when they had 6 turnovers. They forced 6 turnovers of Cleveland against the Texans, where we thought that was maybe their best football that we've played all year until yesterday, 29-10. Mahomes goes for over 303 touchdowns for the first time all season. And then a guy who couldn't stop turning the ball over the last 6, ever since the Buffalo game, their first loss of the season. He has 0 interceptions, 11 touchdowns. He's playing at an MVP level. He's not going to be in the MVP discussion. That's, I think, Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, and Saquon Barkley. It's theirs, one of theirs to lose. But Xavier Worthy continues to look like a wide receiver 1 in this league. Travis Kelce continues to show some juice. He was excellent yesterday, led the team in receiving. Hollywood Brown, the quick hitters he was getting yesterday, he has changed this offense. Mahomes yesterday, I saw an interesting stat. 2.34 seconds per throw. That's the quickest of his entire career. He had last week was his quickest in 3.5 seasons. They've made an emphasis in this offense. We have guys who can run quick routes, and we can give them the ball and let them do yards after the catch. Xavier Worthy yesterday, 76 of 79 yards after the catch. This offense seems to be remade overnight. But can it continue when you're playing the likes of the Ravens, of Buffalo in the playoffs?
Sure, you can get the ball out quick. There's things that you can do out of the backfield, short hitches, those kind of things. And let's face it, this receiving core is getting better and better, in my opinion.
They are.
And really and truly, there's 8 guys you can throw the football to, maybe even a 1 or 2 more. But the ball is getting spread around fairly well. The yardage is getting spread around fairly well. You figure out, well, I'm going to bracket this one. Will that leave somebody else open? And the Chiefs are doing a great job of taking advantage of that. But you brought up the time it takes to release the football for Patrick Mahomes. There's 2 reasons for that. And I think that the biggest reason is the quicker the ball comes out, the further away, rushing offensive or defensive linemen are.
Yeah.
And let's face it, you don't want Patrick Mahomes being touched by anybody. When he walks onto the field with a clean jersey, now this is, artificial surface. This is a throwback to old football,
Yeah.
But when you walk out with a clean jersey on the first series, when you walk off the field in the 4th quarter and shake everybody's hands, you want that jersey just as clean as when you started. And the quicker the ball comes out, the better that's going to happen, the more chance of that going to happen. So you've got receivers that it appears to me are getting better and better at getting yardage after the catch. Have you noticed blocking downfield is getting better too?
It's been excellent.
It's been really pretty darn good. And they're in a receiver coach in America that during practice says, come on, blocking downfield is mental. I mean, all these guys can do it if they want to do it. It's a wanna. It's not a it's a wanna. You got to want to do it. So the ball's coming out faster, which means that Mahomes is going to be protected more, and that's a good thing. That's a really good thing. So I like the way you touched on that because that was really a good point. Very good point brought up by you on that.
Jed, can you keep track of that? That's 1 good point today.
Yeah.
Okay, got it. 1.
Thank you. And then you talk also about keeping Mahomes clean. Didn't get sacked yesterday, not once, against TJ Watt, who might be the best defensive player in the entire National
How
Football
big is
League.
that to you? I'm just asking.
That's pretty darn big.
That's right. That's pretty darn big.
Yeah,
that's big. Yes, it is.
Keeping Mahomes, especially with that ankle, which I don't think is even a story anymore. But yet, on the other side, Chris Jones gets ruled out before the game. You're thinking, oh, no, here comes this Chiefs pass rush. Not going to be any good. No Chris Jones. What are they going to do? How are they going to slow down Russell Wilson and George Pickens and Najee Harris? And then Paul. 5 sacks yesterday. This pass rush continues to come to life. George Karlaftis was an animal. He's continuing.
He pressured a lot, too.
He pressured a lot. Got to the quarterback a couple times. Had a pass deflection as well. Felix Anudike-Uzomah, the K-State guy, the Kansas City guy, he has a sack of his own. Mike Dana was interrupting everything early on. Trent McDuffie with a huge strip of Pat Freiermuth that really helped seal this one in the fourth quarter. The defense went from allowing 20 or more points in 4 of 5 games there in the middle of the season when we thought this thing is just leaking and it's probably going to hurt this team come playoff time. But then ever since then, nobody has scored over 20 in 5 consecutive games. That's what you want going into football. That's into the playoffs. That's Chiefs football that we've seen under Spags.
Right.
And these turnovers. We think the offense is clicking at all time, clicking on all cylinders at the right time of the year. But the defense, that might be the one that's really leading them at this point.
And another good point. That's 2. Chad, we got 2. But another good point is pass rush, because let's face it, if you're a defensive team that can pass rush, you're going to make your DBs look good. You're going to make your linebackers doing their little drop thing. They're going to look good. It makes it easier on everybody with good pass rush. Now, with that being said, anecdotally, you know what that means? It means I got no stats.
I don't know what anecdotally means.
I may have just made Jad. Is that a made up word?
No, partially
made up. But with that being said, I watched the front. Chris Jones not in. To me, that's a big deal because the thing about Chris Jones is more than anybody in this league, if there's somebody that does as good a job, you got our hotline number, our IHOP hotline number. Give us a call because I'm not sure who it would be. But he gets more push than anybody I think in the league. Now that's just me. I got no stats to prove that by. I'm just saying what I see. Now, with that being said, him not being in, I wasn't sure that the inside rush, and I'm talking about push inside, A gap, B gap, something right in there, getting pushed, making the quarterback not be able to step up, to step up into the pocket. You take that away from a quarterback, he's handicapped when it comes to throwing the football. And I'm not sure that it was great, but the outside pressure seemed to be tighter. The rim was run tighter. And here again, anecdotal, I'm just saying what I thought I saw numerous times. The rim is being run tighter. There's more pressure. There's no, running. There's not as much. And one of the things that always upsets me is when I watch DNs run by a quarterback on pass rush. That drives me nuts. It bugs me to heck. But anyway, with that being said, I thought that that because the defensive ends were able to run a tighter rim, that it made all the difference in the world because you're not going to get that push. You got to run that rim tighter. You can't run by. And I thought specifically speaking that this may have been a really good monumental game on seeing how you pass rush. And I thought they did a really good job. And of course, I guess the proof is in the pudding, right? 5 sacks. And I don't have in front. I believe it was 5. Is that correct?
5. That's right.
5.
At least that's what my notes said.
That's a good day. That's a good day, my friend.
Yeah, and they just continue to get better. But most importantly,
I was just going to say, part of the thing too about 5 sacks, that kills 5 drives. Sacks are like penalties. They kill drives. So there you go. With that being said, you kill 5 drives. That's big in the NFL.
That and the turnovers they had yesterday as well, giving up just 10 points. The Chiefs defense clicking really at the right time. But the big story of the day now is we had all this thought about, they're gonna lose the number 1 seed. Is it going to be Buffalo? They're going to have to go on the road to Buffalo again. We saw that worked last year, even in the divisional round. But yet again, the Chiefs are the 1 seed. All they've done is go to AFC championships every single year since Patrick Mahomes has been the starter. And now the road to yet another one will go through Arrowhead. How are you, if you're a coach, how are you approaching this next week? Because they're going to get a bye week after that. Are you content with these guys sitting here with their feet up for almost 3.5 weeks now? Because the Chiefs, when they play the Broncos next Saturday or Sunday, we don't know a time or date yet, but there's absolutely nothing for them to play for except for a 16th win, but that does you nothing.
Yeah, you got everything locked into place for a great run to repeat for your third Super Bowl. Why jeopardize anybody? So next week is going to be a day off for a lot. Now, I'm not saying that starters aren't going to play. I'll guarantee you they're not going to play 4 quarters.
Mm-hmm.
I'll guarantee you that. If the Chiefs don't win that game, so what? It's just one more game that goes on the loss record for Andy Reid, but it doesn't make any difference. Everything's locked into place. So here's what you do. If you're the Kansas City Chiefs, go ahead and rest those guys. I'm not saying give them off. I'm just saying get them rested. Don't put them at jeopardy. I'm more concerned about getting hurt, getting nicked up, something happening, somebody tweaking something with regards to an injury. I'm more concerned about that than I really am the loss. If you lose to Denver and you're playing, all the backups, first of all, that's good for the backups. You may need them. You never know when you're going to need a backup. But this is the right decision. I hope 1-2 series max.
It's going to feel like a preseason game.
Yeah, it's like a preseason. Very good. Another good point. 3 points. 3 good points. You got it?
Can we add these to the Friday total by chance?
Oh, well, you and I were kind of, I don't want to get off on the tangent, but we were pretty damn good, weren't we? But anyway, with that being said, there's a lot of advantages to playing this game. Now, then you got a week off with the bye. So you're basically looking at 3, in essence, 20 days, 21 days, maybe I don't know what it is total, but you're looking around 20 days. That's a lot. How many dings can get healed in 21 days? A lot of dings get healed in 21 days.
Paul, just a little bit ago, of course, you mentioned the IHOP hotline for the phones. That isn't the only way to get a hold of Sports Daily.
Oh, I'm sorry. I should have said something. What is it?
Well, another way to get a hold of Sports Daily is to do what Damian has just done and get on that Odyssey app. If you happen to be listening on the Odyssey app, you'll see the microphone icon. And if you click on that, you can record a message. I'll get that. And we can play it back over the air. So do you want to hear Damian's call?
I'd love to hear what Damian's thinking.
Yeah, let's hear it.
He just had some thoughts about the Chiefs.
Chiefs did really good yesterday. I think they could have ran the ball a little bit more, but we did really good, even with not having Chris Jones on the field. I'm feeling pretty confident about us going into the playoffs.
That's a good comment.
I agree with Damian. They didn't run the ball at all yesterday. It's tough against Pittsburgh, but
yeah, well, the Pittsburgh likes to run the ball. Tomlin is like a Dan Campbell. He's kind of a throwback. I like those guys. I like the throwbacks. There's still a place in the NFL for throwbacks, if you ask me. But it's good to get that win because that solidifies everything. Right now, gosh, guys, I kind of like the Chiefs' chances. Boy, am I breaking news now, buddy? Do I get one for that observation? That their Chiefs are looking.
That was an okay point. I don't know if that was a good.
Oh, it was. It was a horrible point because everybody knew it.
The Chiefs offensively didn't really run the ball at all yesterday. But I think the way that Andy Reid and company views things is those quick hit passes.
That's a run.
They feel like it's a run because it's getting out.
Bingo. There you go.
Quick.
That's right.
I'm going to give myself. That's a good point. Now in the night game last night we saw the Ravens 31-2 winners over the Texans. I mean, the Texans, CJ Stroud just no-showed from the jump. Their only points, obviously, were a safety. Lamar Jackson, another MVP-level night. Can he catch Josh Allen in these last 2 weeks? Well, and you have a look in your eyes that you have no care for.
Lamar Jackson, MVP. Ooh.
Got 2 of them already.
Ooh. Something, a running quarterback in the NFL is nothing you hang your hat on longevity-wise. Now, Lamar Jackson's lasted a long time, and now he's the number 1 rusher in all of football. I don't like that in the NFL. Now, if he was at the University of Kansas or he was at KState, I'd love to have Lamar Jackson as my quarterback because it's a different game. But the NFL is not a place for quarterbacks to run. I mean, you look at the number of yards that Vic had. You look at the number of that Cunningham had. The number 2 and number 3 now in the NFL history of quarterbacks. Either one of those guys in the Football Hall of Fame? Hey, I don't think so.
Nope.
No, I don't think so. No, they're not. In fact, I know they're not. So granted, he wins a lot of games for this. But every time Lamar Jackson carries the football, I view it as selfish. Why? Because he goes down, you got problems. You're not going to replace Lamar Jackson with a backup quarterback on the Ravens that's as good as Lamar Jackson, are you? Of course. Let me answer that for you. No.
Good point.
Yeah, good. Thank you. But the point is that I'm trying to make is that he spends too much time concentrating on running. Bad things are going to happen. I mean, you're going to get to an age where somebody's going to take a shot. Somebody's going to put that helmet on a thigh by mistake. So nobody's going to try to hurt him. But I'm telling you right now, that's a tough road to hoe.
So you want him to pass the ball more?
Can he pass the ball? I believe he can pass the ball. Is he good at it?
He's third in the league in passing yards.
I think that means he's pretty decent. So with that being said, I just think, rushing record, ooh, I'll do it again. Ooh.
We'll be back more. We're going to talk K-State Rate Bowl tonight, coming up right here on Sports Daily.
Just because it's 4 o'clock doesn't mean your day's wrapping up. Get the facts first on 12 News at 4. It doesn't matter where you are. In the office, on the road, or on your couch, 12 News is everywhere, bringing you the story as it happens, catching you up on everything you need to know, and giving you your first look at the next 10 days from Storm Team 12. Watch weekdays on KWCH and KSTW. 12 News at 4. Facts first.
Hey, Wichita, Jim Rome here, celebrating over 25 years as the #1 midday sports talk show on Wichita Radio. Find out why. Tune into The Jungle, weekdays 11 until 2 on 97.5 and 1240 KFH.
Sometimes people tell us, I don't get it, it's just tea. But let me tell you, we are so much more than just tea. With 20 plus flavors of sweet and unsweet iced tea, the possibilities are endless. Come on in and try them all for free to find your favorite or get us on the go for your busy lifestyle. And don't miss happy hour every day. So the next time someone tells you it's just tea, tell them to come by and find out why we say, drink tea, be happy.
Clouds are not just the canvas of our imagination. They tell a story. Clouds affect the events of your day. Sometimes they growl, sometimes they inspire, but they're always the messengers of nature's mood written in the sky. Storm Team 12 understands the language of clouds. We're dedicated to decoding their message so you know what to expect. Behind every cloud, there is a story waiting to be told. Trust Ross Jansen and Storm Team 12, alerting you first to the impact on your life.
When you need help, remember, you're not alone. We are here. We are neighbors. We are together. We are Kansas. We are 12 News.
They say it takes a village. Come together and support local businesses in our neighborhoods. When you contribute to local shops, more money goes back into the economy. Shopping local makes our state stronger. So give back to the communities you love and watch our businesses and communities thrive. Shop local and be Kansas proud.
We are following a breaking update.
Every day, all day, stream the stories that have you talking near and far.
Whoever is behind the wheel of this bus is not stopping.
From hundreds of local reporters and meteorologists spanning the country.
Chaos here this morning at the UW campus.
Search LNL for the all-new Local News Live streaming app.
Make yourself known now.
31001 in traffic pursuit.
Oh my God, here.
Investigate TV Plus begins with real people.
We investigate stories that impact you
And inspire change every day.
Something is broken.
Real problems.
Why are they hiding it?
And real solutions.
My daughter was dying in front of me.
What was your reaction when he said that?
Investigate TV Plus, weekdays at 3:30 p.m. on KWCH.
Sometimes people tell us, I don't get it, it's just tea. But let me tell you, we are so much more than just tea. With 20 plus flavors of sweet and unsweet iced tea, the possibilities are endless. Come on in and try them all for free to find your favorite or get us on the go for your busy lifestyle. And don't miss happy hour every day. So the next time someone tells you it's just tea, tell them to come by and find out why we say, drink tea, be happy.
Mornings are busy. We're here to make your mornings better. We report the stories that affect you.
3 more hospital lies from contaminated apple juice just a day after the FDA issue a recall.
We're here to make your mornings better.
Closing east and westbound lanes of K96 for repairs.
With 12 News, you're prepared for your whole day.
Scattered thunderstorms across the state into the afternoon.
Stay a step ahead with 12 News this morning on KWCH and KSCW.
Chiefs up 12. 12:44 to go in the game. Ball at the Steeler, 12-yard line. Mahomes will throw again. Right side with a little bit of room. Slings it sidearm into the end zone. Touchdown, Kansas City. A historic touchdown for Travis Kelce. His 77th touchdown reception. An all-time Kansas City Chiefs record, eclipsing the great Tony Gonzalez.
He broke one of my former teammates' record today, slam dunked it over the goalpost. I had heard several months ago that he had committed to paying the fine. Are you going to hold him to it, Tony Gonzalez?
We'll see. We might have to tag team the fine, but I would never just leave him out to dry like that. He's such a legend. I owe a lot of my career to him and just being available and being a voice for me. And, it's just an honor to be in the conversations with him, man.
That was the 76th touchdown catch in the career of Travis Kelce. Sorry, the 77th. That surpasses Tony Gonzalez, the most in Chiefs history. He gives an ode to the great Tony G with a dunk over the goalpost. Of course, draws the flag in the modern-day NFL, but it don't matter. The game was out of hand at that point. Cool moment yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
Something we've been waiting for. Travis Kelce hasn't found the end zone many times this year. Just the third time he has scored. But it's something we all knew was going to happen eventually. Just a cool moment.
Yeah, it is. And of course, tight end is a position that I think has been underutilized over the course of history of football. However, the Chiefs have done a great job of revolutionizing that position. And of course, with the tight end, he doesn't just line up on the outside of a tackle for a 6-man front in essence and block down and do those kind of things. But, you line up Tony Gonzalez was one of the first that was lined up in all the different positions. Travis Kelce has even widened the place where you can go put a tight end. I mean, you can put a tight end at the X, you can put him at the Y, you can put him at the Z, you can put him at the A, you can put him at a flex. There's so many things that you can do with a Travis Kelce that it's hard to prepare. If you're a defense, it becomes difficult to prepare for all the combinations of the things that you can do. And there he's able to get open. And how many times do we see Travis Kelce wide open? We see him wide open.
The touchdown is wide open.
Wide open. And we see those kind of things partly because, he lines up in different places so often that there becomes those little glitches. Do I have him? Do I not? Do I release him here if you're in his zone and he's picked up by myself? What am I doing? How am I doing this? And so it's really interesting to see. But it's a new world in the world of tight ends, and that's what's really cool. But part of that thing is Travis Kelce's got some wide receiver in him. I mean, he's got some of the blood of that.
He's also got some quarterback in him with just how he's able to see the coverages. Everyone has said for years he sees the defense like a quarterback, it's just fascinating to see.
That's right, and that's a great point. But it's really interesting, and I think it's well deserved. I mean, because let's face it, Kansas City Chiefs are partly as good because of Travis Kelce. Now that's a combination of Mahomes and Kelce. It's not just one or the other. It's those two have a connection. Those two have a trust. Trust is a big word in that. I have a trust that if I get it into the hands of my tight end, then everything good will happen. And so it's really an interesting thing. I'm really happy that he's got that record. You go back to the days. Kansas City has always had a great tradition. I mean, you go back to E.J. Hall back in the days with some of those guys. There's always been great players in a lot of different positions. So it's really good to see. And I'll tell you, Travis Kelce might be one of the most creative tight ends in the history of the NFL. I say that unabashedly. I mean, he does things that we didn't know tight ends could do.
Like
lateral 30.
I think there's like Star and Happy Gilmore too, which we finally saw a trailer for yesterday.
Okay, good. Good.
that audio courtesy of Chiefs Radio Network and Dan and Hughes.
Let's just go ahead and throw out his girlfriend. I mean, he's got kind of a famous girl. I don't know if you've ever heard of her. Do you know
I think
everybody in the world knows. Yeah. I guess her last tour was $1 billion. Did you hear that?
Yeah.
Yeah, $1 billion.
She almost got a couple hundred from me, but I wasn't. I wasn't able to.
Couple hundred. Mm-hmm. You're crazy. You're not going to go see her for a couple $100. You're for a couple grand maybe. Mm-hmm. Couple grand is what the average was to go see her.
I wouldn't know. The tickets never were able to get all the way in the cart. So
okay,
it is what it is.
All right, couple hundred. That's a joke.
You talk about the creativity of Travis Kelce, but there's another guy on this Chiefs team that you also love the creativity of.
Who's that?
One Andy Reid.
I do. And by the way, you had mentioned that you'd seen Andy Reid, and by the way, he appeared post game in a Santa suit.
Mm-hmm.
I've never seen that. And you said he's done that before.
Yeah, he's done it for years in Kansas City.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I mean, I've never happened to see. Maybe I just didn't catch whatever the press conference was or the replay of it or whatever. So I did not know that. But my first thought was, something? I want to play for Andy Reid.
Right.
I think I like to play for Andy Reid's got a sense of humor. A guy who's stuck on himself. And this is, I've got an image, and as an NFL coach, I've got an image as a future Hall of Fame NFL coach. He's thinking, something. I gotta protect my image. Not Andy Reid. Put on a Santa suit, put the hat on, put the beard on, and go in and talk to the players and the media. I'm telling you right now, I think that is so cool. I just love that because he doesn't take himself so serious. I love people that don't take themselves seriously. And that's what makes, I think, Andy Reid, part of his greatness is the fact that, he doesn't take himself serious. I love people like that. So I hadn't seen it. I hate to confess that, but I've never seen him in that. But my first thought was, this is a guy who's not afraid to have a good time, who's not afraid to be who he is, which is a bit of a jokester. And I thought it was great. Come to find out, he's done it for years. And I thought, oh my God.
Yep. Here it is. I have it pulled up. I was at the game when they beat the Dolphins in 2017. He came to the podium wearing the whole Santa suit.
Wow. Back to that part though. I missed that. I missed that press conference.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Just very cool. And it just shows how relatable he is.
Yeah.
That's
right. That's right.
He doesn't really, people might not look at him and see, oh, that's a player's coach. They look at the Dan Campbells, the Sean McVays, the Kevin O'Connells, but as genius as he is, I mean, Andy Reid just continues to reimagine himself on the field, but also just off the field.
Right. And that speaks volumes to me, but I think it also speaks volume to the success of the Kansas City Chiefs, doesn't it? I mean, when you have somebody who can relieve the pressure of being the best team in the NFL, and the pressure of, do we get the home field advantage all the way through? There's a lot of pressures when you're as good. I know you think to yourself, well, when you're that good, do you have pressure? Well, yeah. In fact, sometimes the pressure is different, but sometimes the pressure can be higher, bigger, and certainly to fans, it can be, more important than anything else. So, I mean, congratulations, Andy Reid. That's funny stuff.
You know what we call yesterday when you get Andy Reid and Santa Claus in one locker room?
What?
Bundle Ruski.
Bundle Ruski. Oh, that was pretty good. Put him down again, Jad. That's a good one. Yeah. Did you just come with that? You're on your own?
Yeah, I did.
Bundle Ruski.
Yeah, I never thought we'd see. I mean, Andy Reid was a grump for a while in Kansas City. And then Patrick Mahomes came in. I never thought we'd see a day where he was doing commercials. And
there seems to be a lot of pressure off of Andy Reid. There were periods of time where I'm not sure he felt totally safe, with his contract. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
being a head coach, I wasn't sure but now he's safe. He's got a legacy. He's got the start on the Bill Belichick deal.
Three Super Bowls will do that for you.
Yeah, Super Bowl championships have a tendency to do that. That's right.
Yeah, absolutely. And the Chiefs, again, they're going to go into Denver next week. We don't know a day. We don't know a time. We don't know television, any of that. The NFL will release that more. I believe Sunday we will know all of that information. Bundlerooski. Now we get a Bundlerooski of our own with a Christmas Day and a post-Christmas Day football that we care about. Kansas State taking on Rutgers tonight in the Ray Bowl. They are 7-point favorites as of this morning. A game 4:30. You can watch it on ESPN, and you can also listen to that game on KFH 975. 97.5 and as well 2:30 is when pregame coverage is going to begin as well on the Odyssey app. What are you looking for tonight in Kansas State football?
Don't know, because I know there's some players that aren't there. I'm not even sure how many, but I know they're not all there. Don't know what is going to return for Rutgers. I don't know. I've not heard.
They're going to be without their top running back, which is big because we've talked about it on the show. I'm Minnesota sports through and through. Rutgers quarterback came from the Golden Gophers, and Minnesota didn't miss him at all, if that tells you anything.
Well, that tells me a lot, by the way. Yeah, it does tell me something. But, this is going to be an interesting game. I don't know that bowls have the same influence as they used to. I think that's obvious. You've got 12 teams involved in a national championship hunt. I'm sure paying attention to those. But, nowadays we got bowls I've never heard of. I mean, every year we've got bowls that I've never heard the name, and maybe they're new. Maybe they've been around for a couple of years. I haven't paid attention, or they slipped by me. A lot of teams playing that, makes me wonder. I mean, you think to yourself, well, San Jose State, I guess they belong in a bowl.
That game was thrilling, though. Yeah, with South Florida. San Jose State, South Florida.
Yeah, it was 5 overtimes. Yeah. But my point is, San Jose is not exactly things that I have to look. On Sunday morning, I'm not looking up San Jose State score. Mm-hmm. I'm not doing that. But it's a little bit different. But with the playoffs, everything has changed. And of course, I like the way the playoffs, they did exactly what I thought they would do and needed to do, and that was pick some bowls and use some of these playoff games, for bowls. So the Cotton Bowl, the Rose Bowl, and the Rose Bowl is doing a good job of trying to get somebody, out west on involved and all that kind of stuff the best they can. Sugar Bowl,
Peach Bowl, Orange Bowl.
Yeah, Orange Bowl. They're being related to those playoffs, and I think that's smart. But that means there's a lot of bowls, a lot of bowl games that, I shake my head and I go, wow. And by the way, I've tuned in to a few of them. Evidently, fans feel the same way, because I've seen some that spring practice has more people in the stands than this bowl game.
Yeah, I did watch that the 5 overtime thriller between South Florida and San Jose State the other night. And when I say I watched it, I mean I tuned in once I found it was in the 4th overtime, and you see the fans came on the field after the game because there was 40 of them, but
40 of them.
There might have been 35 of them.
I saw the replays. I did not see the game, didn't even realize the game was on, but I did see a few of the replays on the thing, and it was, golly, 5 overtimes. Yeah. I mean, that's something.
Cool stuff. But yeah, I mean, at least with K-State, we do have the local connections. We're going to see more Dylan Edwards tonight. We didn't see him used to the fullest extent, I think, this year. DJ Giddens still proving that he was one of the best running backs in the entire country. He will not play tonight as he is prepping for the NFL draft, as well as the defensive star Jacob Parrish. So the Cats will be without those two. A couple other injuries, nothing that is too notable for K-State. But, I mean, this is the time of year a year ago we saw Avery Johnson in the Pop-Tarts Bowl. We knew about him locally. I think people knew about him in the Big 12. He had the 5 rushing touchdown game against Texas Tech. And then in Pop-Tarts Bowl MVP, he became nationally, people became aware of him, put him in Heisman, start throwing his name around out there. And now is just a chance to end the year strong.
Well, I think it's important. But I think for Avery Johnson, it's important that this team win, that this team get better, and that he's put his stamp of being the leader on this team. And he's got to get to that point where he's consistent on that. And maybe this is the game that it happens.
Maybe so.
A bowl game's a good time to do it.
We're going to talk about Cats coming up with Cole Carmody of Go Power Pat coming up next.
Just because it's 4 o'clock doesn't mean your day's wrapping up. Get the facts first on 12 News at 4. It doesn't matter where you are. In the office, on the road, or on your couch, 12 News is everywhere, bringing you the story as it happens, catching you up on everything you need to know, and giving you your first look at the next 10 days from Storm Team 12. Watch weekdays on KWCH and KSTW. 12 News at 4. Facts first.
Hey, Wichita, Jim Rome here, celebrating over 25 years as the #1 midday sports talk show on Wichita Radio. Find out why. Tune into the jungle, weekdays 11 until 2 on 97.5 and 1240 KFH.
Sometimes people tell us, I don't get it, it's just tea. But let me tell you, we are so much more than just tea. With 20 plus flavors of sweet and unsweet iced tea, the possibilities are endless. Come on in and try them all for free to find your favorite or get us on the go for your busy lifestyle. And don't miss happy hour every day. So the next time someone tells you it's just tea, tell them to come by and find out why we say, drink tea, be happy.
Clouds are not just the canvas of our imagination. They tell a story. Clouds affect the events of your day. Sometimes they growl, sometimes they inspire, but they're always the messengers of nature's mood written in the sky. Storm Team 12 understands the language of clouds. We're dedicated to decoding their message so you know what to expect. Behind every cloud, there is a story waiting to be told. Trust Ross Jansen and Storm Team 12, alerting you first to the impact on your life.
When you need help, remember, you're not alone. We are here. We are neighbors. We are together. We are Kansas. We are 12 News.
They say it takes a village. Come together and support local businesses in our neighborhoods. When you contribute to local shops, more money goes back into the economy. Shopping local makes our state stronger. So give back to the communities you love and watch our businesses and communities thrive. Shop local and be Kansas proud.
We are following a breaking update.
Every day, all day, stream the stories that have you talking near and far.
Whoever is behind the wheel of this bus is not stopping.
From hundreds of local reporters and meteorologists spanning the country.
Chaos here this morning at the UW campus.
Search LNL for the all-new Local News Live streaming app.
Make yourself known now.
310-01 in traffic pursuit.
Oh my God, here.
Investigate TV Plus begins with real people.
We investigate stories that impact you
and inspire change every day.
Something is broken.
Real problems.
Why are they hiding it?
And real solutions.
My daughter was dying in front of me.
What was your reaction when he said that?
Investigate TV Plus, weekdays at 3:30 p.m. on KWCH.
Sometimes people tell us, I don't get it, it's just tea. But let me tell you, we are so much more than just tea. With 20 plus flavors of sweet and unsweet iced tea, the possibilities are endless. Come on in and try them all for free to find your favorite or get us on the go for your busy lifestyle. And don't miss happy hour every day. So the next time someone tells you it's just tea, tell them to come by and find out why we say, drink tea, be happy.
Mornings are busy. We're here to make your mornings better. We report the stories that affect you.
3 more hospital lies from contaminated apple juice just a day after the FDA issue a recall.
We're here to make your mornings better.
Closing east and westbound lanes of K96 for repairs.
With 12 News, you're prepared for your whole day.
Scattered thunderstorms across the state into the afternoon.
Stay a step ahead with 12 News this morning on KWCH and KSCW.
Now, from Wichita's most listened to sports radio, 97.5 and 1240 KFH. This is Sports Daily with Jacob Albrocht and Tommy Kester.
Welcome back into the second hour here on Sports Daily. No Jacob Albrocht, no Tommy Kester today. I'm Brandon Zenner. Paul Savage in with me as well. Jed Chambers producing this thing. Remember, you can still reach us out on the IHOP hotline. We'll get to some more of your calls coming up in the next segment. But first, we go to the phone lines where we have Cole Carmody of Go Power Cat joining us. We have K-State in the Rate Bowl tonight taking on Rutgers, 4:30 on ESPN. You can also hear that game with pregame beginning at 2:30 right here on KFH 97.5. Cole Carmody, how are we doing this morning?
Hey, Brandon, I'm doing pretty well, man. Thanks for having me on. You know, anytime the boss is away in Arizona and you get to stay back for Christmas, I can't complain too much.
Yeah, funny you said that. We were talking with Fitz early in the week, Tim Fitzgerald of Go Power Cat, just trying to see the availability, and he said that he would throw you into the fire. But this was also my first time I've interacted with Fitz in person over social media a bunch, but now I have his phone number, and he warned me. What am I in store for now that Fitz has my phone number?
Let's just say that you might get some inappropriate text messages, but they're all in good spirit.
That is exactly what he was alluding to too. So hope you and hope Fitz and the whole Go Power Cat crew had a Merry Christmas. But I mean, how can you not when you're talking about this K-State football team getting ready for the Rate Bowl again coming up tonight against Rutgers, 7-point favorites, trying to end the season on 9 wins. Cole, just starting, no DJ Giddens, no Jacob Parrish tonight. What does that mean on the field? What are you going to be looking for in place of those two outstanding cats?
Well, the thing that jumps out to me, guys, is the Wichita native Dylan Edwards. I mean, the Derby legend has a chance to take the reins as running back number 1 for Kansas State tonight, and I think that's the main story. And you look at what this offense can be going forward with, obviously, May's product Avery Johnson and Dylan Edwards in the backfield. And I know a lot of folks when both of those kids committed back in would have been the summer of 2022, both of those kids committed to Kansas State were dreaming of this day. And now that it's finally here, obviously Dylan has taken a different road than Avery has, but both of those guys now are set to be quarterback 1 and running back 1 in this offense. And it's been a long time coming. I know that both of these families are extremely excited for their sons to get this opportunity, but I know that the K-State football program is also incredibly excited. I think that this is going to serve as what the blueprint can be going forward for this offense, and I think it could be really dangerous. I mean, Dylan Edwards brings a completely different dynamic to the backfield than DJ Giddens does, and that's nothing against DJ, obviously one of the best running backs in K-State history, but Dylan is an incredibly quick and incredibly fast downhill runner, and DJ might have been more of the thunder, and Dylan is definitely going to be the lightning. And so excited to watch those guys. You brought up Jacob Parrish. Jacob Parrish holds a special place in my heart. That's a kid I've known for a really long time. On a personal level, we both went to the same high school. I've known his brother for a really long time. And so seeing Jacob accomplish his goal of getting to that next level, it's special. And I think that that's another kid who unheralded recruit out of Olathe, steps in, plays as a freshman in a Big 12 championship game, starts for 2 seasons. There's no doubt that he will be missed inside of that building. But anytime that you have 2 players who declare for the NFL draft and skip a bowl game, I don't think that says anything about that player. I just think it says everything about where the Kansas State football program is right now.
And Chris Kleiman made it a point this week to talk, to let everyone know that he has told the offensive staff that he wants to see some more of these young guys in. He wants to showcase them some more, and that we think will include Dylan Edwards. What do you think we can expect from him tonight? How much are we going to see? How much will they unveil? Again, because it's going to be 8 months until we see them on the field again. What can we expect from Dylan Edwards?
Well, it's interesting because Chris Kleiman said in his first media availability since the Iowa State game that he had spent 70% of his time in the transfer portal and 30% of his time preparing for Rutgers. Now, granted, that was about a week out before the game. I'm sure that changed as the week went on, but to answer your question, it's kind of an interesting thing because he's left the game plan up to his coordinators. And so Joe Klanderman and specifically Connor Riley, you talked about the offense. He is going to be the one who's coming up with the game plan, the strategy. How do you use Dylan? I really believe that Dylan Edwards is going to get, I would say, anywhere from 70 to 80% of the touches at running back. I know they really like Joe Jackson. I think there's a reason why you're seeing Kansas State not go after any transfer portal running backs right now. It's because they feel like with Dylan Edwards and Joe Jackson, somebody else will emerge as a third running back, but you have those two guys, and they feel really confident in Dylan and Joe. But I think it says more about Dylan than it says about Joe because they tried to make it a point to get him the ball in space this season, and for whatever reason, they struggled to do so. I really believe that this will serve as kind of a blueprint of how they want to use Dylan. And if they come out and they use him in a dynamic role, to me, what that says is that will be the plan going forward. Dylan is a special kind of running back, one that we haven't seen in a while at K-State. And so I'm really excited to see how they use him. I would probably say they would try and get him the ball more than not because when he has the ball in his hands, he is an incredibly special playmaker.
Welcome to the show. This is Paul Savage. I don't think I've ever talked to you, but I know that that's okay because we'll get you on more. Love you. Always love Fitz, but tell him Savage said hello. But I got a question for you. Of course, we all talk about Johnson. We all talk about Dylan Edwards. We talk about offensive players and receivers and all that. We do a lot of that. But I'm going to give you two names, and I want you to tell me if they play well. I guarantee K-State wins this game over Rutgers. Brandon Mott, Defensive Player of the Year in the Big 12, and linebacker Austin Moore. And if those guys have good football games, I'm telling you right now, the Cats have a good chance of winning this game. Am I wrong on that?
No, you are not wrong. Those two guys have been around K-State for 6 years. And you know what? In today's world of college football, that is immensely impressive. Usually, if it takes you 6 years to graduate college, it's not immensely impressive. But for these guys, it is because hardly any players stick around that long anymore. And both of those guys are former walk-ons, which I think adds to the intrigue of not only this game, but of their K-State careers. Obviously, captains of this Kansas State football team. You mentioned Austin Moore, Lewisburg, Kansas. His brother just signed to play with K-State next year. So there'll be another little more running around at the linebacker position. Brendan Mott, defensive lineman of the year in the Big 12 Conference. These two guys are incredibly underrated football players. They've had outstanding careers, and they are playing at the highest level that they've played at all season long. Austin Moore is one of the most undervalued players in the entire Big 12, and I would say the same thing about Brendan Mott, but earning that award, I think, really encapsulates the kind of season he's had. The thing that makes both of those guys so special is that they're both a little undersized. They're maybe not the fastest in the world, but they're incredibly smart football players, and they find ways to make plays. And I think another storyline of this game is Rutgers' leading tailback opting out. It's not like they have a Dylan Edwards or a Joe Jackson behind their main guy ready to take the reins. Rutgers, if you look at their statistics, this guy had over 1,400 yards rushing, and the next closest running back had 150. So this is going to be a storyline of the game, and you're right. I want to see Austin Moore and Brendan Mott run back out there. I would say in the purple and the silver guys, but they're wearing white helmets and white pants now one last time because I think they're all excited to finish their K-State career on a high note.
That's right. The old guys, they said, we want to go out. We want to wear some different unis.
Right.
Something different than the tradition that we usually see. And then Cole Carmody, Go Power Cat here. Just last week, when we look at how the season finished, did not end the way K-State had hoped. They hoped to be playing for a Big 12 championship, a spot in the college football playoff, losing 3 of 4 to end. Things just fizzled out. How important can this game be in setting the tone for the offseason and showing just Cat fans restoring that faith and just putting everyone in the Big 12 on alert of what this Avery Johnson, Dylan Edwards group with Chris Kleiman can look for next year because things did not end the way that it wanted to.
No, you're right. And, I talked about this on some of our podcasts on Go Power Cat this week, but it kind of feels like an opportunity for a healing moment. And there's no doubt that K-State fans have kind of been through it the last 2+ months of the year with the end of football season, with the beginning of basketball season, which you could almost already call the end of basketball season. But K-State fans have had to go through a lot in the last few months. And so this feels like an opportunity to kind of, put a lid on the football season and springboard towards next year. I think that it's as much about preparing for next season as it is sending the seniors off on a high note. But guys, there's really not a lot of impactful seniors that are on this roster. Paul, you brought up Brendan Mott and Austin Moore. Those are about the only two guys. And so sending these guys off on a high note is important, but kind of building that momentum and laying that foundation of, hey, this is where we are, but this is where we want to go. And Avery Johnson talked about that in his media availability down there the other day. Of the reason why he stayed at Kansas State is because he believes this team can win a Big 12 championship and play in the college football playoff. And, you look at some of the additions this team is making in the offseason, you look at who this team is bringing back, and I'm not going to doubt that because I feel like this Kansas State team's in a really good place. There's no doubt that they had some issues this season to end the year. But, guys, anytime we're talking about 8-4 being a down season, I think that's a pretty positive note. And so if Kansas State can find a way to win this football game, they're going to have a lot of positive things.
Leave it to the guys at Go Power Cat to take a shot at this basketball team when we're talking about a rate bowl. Cole, how could you?
I know.
Attaboy.
Cole Carmody, Go Power Cat. Make sure to check out his work. Thank you for joining us today. Again, the rate bowl tonight, 4:30 ESPN. You can also listen to it right here on 97.5 KFH. Cole, thanks for joining us today.
Thanks, fellas.
97.5 and 1240 KFH.
Just because it's 4 o'clock doesn't mean your day's wrapping up. Get the facts first on 12 News at 4. It doesn't matter where you are. In the office, on the road, or on your couch, 12 News is everywhere, bringing you the story as it happens, catching you up on everything you need to know, and giving you your first look at the next 10 days from Storm Team 12.
Watch weekdays on KWCH and KSPW.
12 News at 4. Facts first.
Hey, Wichita, Jim Rome here, celebrating over 25 years as the #1 midday sports talk show on Wichita Radio. Find out why. Tune into The Jungle, weekdays 11 until 2 on 97.5 and 1240 KFH.
Sometimes people tell us, I don't get it, it's just tea. But let me tell you, we are so much more than just tea. With 20 plus flavors of sweet and unsweet iced tea, the possibilities are endless. Come on in and try them all for free to find your favorite or get us on the go for your busy lifestyle. And don't miss happy hour every day. So the next time someone tells you it's just tea, tell them to come by and find out why we say drink tea, be happy.
Clouds are not just the canvas of our imagination. They tell a story. Clouds affect the events of your day. Sometimes they growl, sometimes they inspire, but they're always the messengers of nature's mood written in the sky. Storm Team 12 understands the language of clouds. We're dedicated to decoding their message so you know what to expect. Behind every cloud, there is a story waiting to be told. Trust Ross Jansen and Storm Team 12, alerting you first to the impact on your life.
When you need help, remember, you're not alone. We are here. We are neighbors. We are together. We are Kansas. We are 12 News.
They say it takes a village. Come together and support local businesses in our neighborhoods. When you contribute to local shops, more money goes back into the economy. Shopping local makes our state stronger. So give back to the communities you love and watch our businesses and communities thrive. Shop local and be Kansas proud.
We are following a breaking update.
Every day, all day, stream the stories that have you talking near and far.
Whoever is behind the wheel of this bus is not stopping.
From hundreds of local reporters and meteorologists spanning the country.
Chaos here this morning at the UW campus.
Search LNL for the all-new Local News Live streaming app.
Make yourself known now.
831001 in traffic pursuit.
Oh my God, here.
Investigate TV Plus begins with real people.
We investigate stories that impact you
and inspire change every day.
Something is broken.
Real problems.
Why are they hiding it?
And real solutions.
My daughter was dying in front of me.
What was your reaction when he said that?
Investigate TV Plus, weekdays at 3:30 p.m. on KWCH.
Sometimes people tell us, I don't get it, it's just tea. But let me tell you, we are so much more than just tea. With 20 plus flavors of sweet and unsweet iced tea, the possibilities are endless. Come on in and try them all for free to find your favorite or get us on the go for your busy lifestyle. And don't miss happy hour every day. So the next time someone tells you it's just tea, tell them to come by and find out why we say, drink tea, be happy.
Mornings are busy. We're here to make your mornings better. We report the stories that affect you.
3 more hospital lies from contaminated apple juice just a day after the FDA issue a recall.
We're here to make your mornings better.
Closing east and westbound lanes of K96 for repairs.
With 12 News, you're prepared for your whole day.
Scattered thunderstorms across the state into the afternoon.
Stay a step ahead with 12 News this morning on KWCH and KSCW.
Welcome back into Sports Daily on a Thursday here. Brandon Zenner, Paul Savage, Jad Chambers in with you today. Now, Jad, I'm looking at the weather going forward. Sunday, we're going to get almost a 60 degrees. Monday, right there too, 58 looks like the high. You know me, that means I'm probably going to have a tea time, which there's plenty available at Christie, but much more than that as well.
Oh, yeah, because they've got golfing, but they've got, tennis. They've got the whole country club lifestyle there at Crestview Country Club. We're really glad that they're a sponsor of ours here on Sports Daily. And so, yeah, if you want to, just go and check things out. And that's a Crestview Country Club. They've got all sorts of youth activities. They've got New Year's Eve event coming up. That ought to be really, really interesting. I know Jacob and Tommy both appreciate Crestview Country Club.
Yeah. I appreciate their food. I've eaten there numerous times, and their food is just spectacular, Brandon. Just spectacular.
And then speaking of food, the IHOP hotline is open the rest of the way as we round up the final hour here.
You're doing golf though? If it gets to 60.
If it's 38 or above, you can catch me on the golf course.
I think I'm gonna go out to my lake and do a little plinking.
Yeah,
little plinking. You know what a plinking is?
I'm scared to ask.
You're shooting 22s.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
What the heck?
Okay.
I think that's what we're gonna do.
Yeah.
But it's a beautiful day. I can't wait to do it. I hope you have fun.
Thank you.
Shoot them low.
And
shoot low.
I'll try. Now I think you're gonna have some fun because this is a segment that you have been bugging me about since you found out we were doing this show together today. It's near the end of the year. We talked about Chiefs already. We talked about K-State in the bowl game. Not much else going on. I didn't watch a second of the NBA yesterday, so why not look back on the year that was a little bit? Tell us what we're doing here, Paul.
Well, everybody has the best of what happened in this last year. In other words, we always look and say, well, who was the best team in all of sports? And I'm just going to go with best team. What was the best team? Can I just throw some things out to you? How about the Boston Celtics? Pretty dang good. UConn, NCAA basketball championship. How about South Carolina women? What, 4 straight?
Incredible.
I think I'm right on that. 4 straight. Or what about the Chiefs? 2nd Super Bowl. What's the best team in your opinion?
Well, the best team, it has to be the Kansas City Chiefs. They have lost just once in the entire calendar year. They won the Super Bowl. They already clinched the 1 seed before the new year, which is huge as well. If you're talking about just outside of on the field, they are the biggest thing in all of sports,
Mhm.
in my opinion. Just how they transcend sports, in pop culture and everything. That'd be what I would go for.
You know something that makes a lot of sense. Although I'll tell you what, I'm very sympathetic to South Carolina. The reason I don't give it to South Carolina with 4 straight championships is because, well, let's face it, there is not parity in women's basketball at the NCAA level, is there? I mean, you've got teams that just really aren't as good as some of the better teams. I'm talking about the USCs of the world, the Iowas of the world, the South Carolinas of the world, the Louisvilles of the world,
Tennessee for a long time.
For Tennessee with oh gosh, what was her name? Anyway, the head coach there. But anyway, you're right.
Pat Summitt.
Pat Summitt. Pat Head Summitt. That was her married name, and then she went back to Pat Summitt. But anyway, with that being said, I'm very sympathetic, and I could come close to giving it to South Carolina, but they don't play everybody that's equal to them. I mean, for the Chiefs, though, like we talked about earlier in the first hour, everybody pays their players. Everybody that the Chiefs are playing pay their players, don't they? They're pretty good. The worst team in the NFL on any given Sunday can beat the next Super Bowl champion. We all know. So I'm with you. Yeah. Round of applause. You're right on that one.
It says a lot that you didn't even mention a single MLB team. That says a lot about that league right now.
Well, it does, doesn't it? I should have, but I didn't. All right, how about this? How about best accomplishment by an individual? Let me just run through a couple for you.
I already have it in my head, so you're good.
Well, let me run through just a couple. By the way, Jad, I'm going to look for some calls. If we have anybody that wants to call on the IHOP hotline, let's be sure to do it. Go out and get them an omelet. Go get an omelet out there and get some pancakes, get some waffles,
French
whatever you want to do on the.
I really like that French toast.
Yeah, French toast. There you go. I've never had the French toast, but you brought it up enough. I think I'll try it the next time I go. But anyway, best accomplishments by an individual athlete. Oh, I mean, I don't know how you don't think Ohtani might be the MVP, but this is what, his 3rd or 4th MVP. I mean, he's won a bunch of them. How about Scotty Scheffler? Now, there's a guy you don't get enough conversation about. How good a golfer was he this year? I think we could make a case
good as any.
As good as any, including Tiger
Woods.
That's right. So I mean, it was a great. How about Steph Curry? Is literally changing the way NBA basketball is played.
He's been doing that for a decade.
Well, okay, a decade, but also Olympic gold. How about this? So now we've got Ohtani, we've got Scheffler, we've got Curry. I'm going to throw in. How about Simone Biles? 3 gold medals, 1 silver medal. And the last one I'm going to throw out is Travis Hunter, Heisman Trophy winner. When was the last guy we remember going both ways to the extent that he did, where he's named all Big 12 on both the offense and the defense? When was the last time we saw that? Well, I'm here to tell you right now that I think Travis Hunter might be the best Heisman winner since. I was going to say since Jay Berwanger won the first one in 1935. And I think now that doesn't mean I'm picking Travis Hunter, but who do you pick? Ohtani, Scheffler, Curry, Biles, Hunter.
I will say I hold a special place in my heart for Simone Biles. I know her husband. I covered him when he was in college.
Oh, okay.
Jonathan Owens.
Sure,
I've known him for just about a decade now. So Simone Biles is close in my heart. You didn't mention even. I think what Paul Skeens did was incredible.
Well, hold on. We got
year.
rookies of the best rookies. So
okay.
Let's hold on. Don't get ahead of me.
I take it back. So give me the list one more time.
Well, come on. I mean, you want the list one more time? Ohtani, Scheffler, Curry, Biles, Hunter.
It's got to be Scotty. I mean, none of those other people spent a couple hours in jail, then came back and also competed.
Well,
and he was just incredible. Scotty was incredible.
That was really insightful, and I would agree with you under normal circumstances. But I think people would still, they're still going to compare him to Tiger. But I think it's going to be, for me, it's going to be Travis Hunter. And here's why: because nobody's done what he's ever done to the extent that he's done it. Now, granted, back in the 30s and 40s, there were some two-way players, but none that were ever really that dominant. They were all offensive players. You win a Heisman doing what? Offensive stuff. And, of course, Travis Hunter was as good as they come. But I'm going to go with Hunter. Now, here's the problem with your pick with Simone Biles. Is she great? She is great.
Phenomenal.
How many total goals does she have? Like 1 billion. I don't even know what the number.
One now.
Huh?
1 billion and one now.
1 billion and one. I'm telling you right now, she is very deserving. However, Olympians with a lot of medals are a dime a dozen. Shoot, Al Order, discus thrower, University of Kansas. He's got 4 gold medals. I mean, you can have. Hey, what about the swimmer? The big Spitz? How many does he have? He's got like 16 gold medals over several Olympics. I mean, he's got a ton of them. So, come on. I'm not going with Biles because it's a dime a dozen, but Travis Hunter is once in a generation. Once in a generation, my friend. So there you go. We can break the tie. Who we got? Biles or Hunter, Jad?
I said Scotty.
Oh, Scotty. That's right. Scotty or Travis?
Sorry, I'm going with Alex Ovechkin.
Oh, something? That's what I get for calling on Jad. Cocky. I should have known better. And
he is on pace to break Wayne Gretzky's goal scoring record this year.
Well, that kind of quieted us down. What team does he play for? Because I've never heard of him.
Okay,
Washington
Capitals.
Washington Capitals.
Yeah.
Wow. Shows you what I know about hockey, doesn't it?
He's got 27 more goals before he gets to Gretzky level in goal scoring. So,
yep. I'm gonna now let's move on because I know we don't have a lot of time. I've got two great categories coming up. But the first one we're going to hit is best rookies of the year. Who was your rookie of the year? Paul Skeens, Major League Baseball, 11-3, not bad for a rookie. Caitlin Clark, the basketball player. How about Jaden Daniels of the Washington Commanders, NFL? I mean, my goodness, did anybody see this coming? I mean, I thought he was going to be good, and I thought he'd be good fast. I did not know he'd be this good this fast.
I didn't with Dan Quinn as his coach, but I've been proven wrong.
Okay, good. Well, yeah. And how about Victor Wembanyama?
Wembanyama.
Thank you. I needed help on that one, didn't I?
Oh, Paul.
Okay. Anyway, what about those guys? Skeens, Caitlin Clark, Jaden Daniels, or Victor W?
Victor W. Now we're just going W. It's hard to go against Victor because we talked about Steph Curry changing the NBA. Yeah, he's changing the NBA just because no one can literally do what he does at 7'4".
Yeah, something like that.
Shoot the three. He can dribble. He blocks shots better than anybody. He's probably going to be the defensive player of the year in the NBA this year. He is going to be all NBA. He's going to be an all-star. And he's doing it for a team where they don't have anybody else.
Right.
Paul Skeens was incredible. But I would probably go with Victor Wembanyama.
Well, I think you're right, and he's going to be great. And by the way, you can see him getting tougher, stronger, being more physical, running better. You can see him almost growing up and maturing because he's very young. What is he, still 19 or 20?
Yeah, he's not 20.
He's not 20. So you can see him literally before our very eyes maturing, can't we? I mean, we're watching him grow up, in essence, in the NBA. For me, this is almost the easiest one. I love Paul Skeens. 11-3. An ERA under 3. He was unbelievable. What a great start to a career. But I can't go with him. I got to go with Caitlin Clark. And here's why I'm going with Caitlin Clark. She has changed the world of basketball on the women's side. She has allowed this league to become in the headlines of America, on television, on cable, you name it. She is the picture of how do you put an entire sport on your back and carry it. And then you combine that with the way she was treated, with how she was welcomed, with why people think there's a problem with her, which they're not. You're getting bigger money in the WNBA. And it's not because all the other players are great. It's because she's great. And she has a following. And people follow her on social media like millions. And so I'm thinking to myself, this was the easiest pick of all the picks that I'm going to throw out. Caitlin Clark, for me, is hands down. All right.
So you don't even have to go. You don't have to go to Jad. I'll give that one to you. It should be Caitlin.
Okay, well, good. Jad, sorry about that.
No, that's fine. I totally agree.
Yeah. Yep. There you go. All right. I love this one because I love coaching, and I've always loved coaching. I've done it for a long, long time. The biggest coaching change of the year. What is the biggest? And there's been some huge ones. Can I just run over my top four and see which one you think?
Define biggest, most impactful, biggest letdown.
Yes, and yes. However you determine it, to the positive, to the negative, whatever the case might be. But here are my biggest coaching changes. John Calipari from Kentucky to Arkansas. That's big.
Yeah.
And of course, the fact that he was run out kind of boggles my mind. Run out of Kentucky. John Harbaugh, University of Michigan to the LA Chargers. How about Nick?
You say John Harbaugh?
Yeah, John Harbaugh.
Jim Harbaugh.
Oh, Jim Harbaugh. Okay, I got my Jim.
It's hard to keep track of.
Yeah, anyway, Jim Harbaugh, University of Michigan to the Chargers. How about Nick Saban leaving Alabama?
That's where I was going.
That's pretty huge. And my last one I think is really interesting. Bill Belichick from the New England Patriots to North Carolina. What in Europe or anything else? Maybe there's somebody I've overlooked. I don't know. Maybe you've got someone. But what about those right there?
No, I think you hit it on the head. The last one's just it's fascinating to me because it wouldn't be surprising if we see maybe some others follow suit. Maybe there's Pete Carroll to the Bears. What if a college program calls him up and says, "Come do what you did. Come do it at a college level. We'll give you the whole front office dealio." So
Right.
that would be interesting to see if Pete Carroll would ever go back to college. Yeah, I'll go with Bill Belichick just because it's something that we really haven't seen on this level.
Ding, 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 ding. You are right as rain because we haven't seen this. We're going to start seeing NFL coaches that are discarded out of the NFL at younger ages, not just Belichick, because I mean he's in his mid 70s. But we're going to see more and more coaches as they leave. They may choose to go be the head coach at a Division I college in one of the 4 or 5 biggest conferences, rather than go be a coordinator or a position coach in another NFL team.
He is 1 year younger than Mac Brown.
Is he?
For the reference?
Okay.
Yeah. So North Carolina did get younger.
But that's how I see this change being made, is that he's going to pave the way for we're going to start. But there's going to be a lot of younger NFL coaches who get fired, start taking these jobs. And the stigma is off, isn't it? Now the stigma is gone. If it's good enough for Bill Belichick, it's going to be good enough for anybody. That is, to me, going to be so significant in the future. Bill Belichick may be the first to do this, but he won't be the last.
He will not be the last. No, I bet. I wouldn't be surprised if we see another this offseason.
Wouldn't be surprised. Would not be surprised. All right, very good. How about just a couple others? We got time for a couple others, Jad?
Yeah.
How much time we got?
We got a couple more minutes.
All right, how about a future prediction? Now, we just did our year in, what we thought was the best. How about what's going to happen in the future? We'll write this down. I'll write this down and save this note. We'll just see if we're right. Okay, who's going to be the first-round draft pick? You want me to just name a few guys that it might be?
The number 1 overall pick?
Overall pick.
Okay.
Travis Hunter might be one. How about Will Johnson out of Michigan? Cam Ward. Quarterbacks are at a premium, aren't they? Out of Miami. James Pierce, an edge rusher. How about Shedeur Sanders? Could be. There's been talk about that. Who do you got as the number 1 draft pick?
I think it's one of the 2 guys you mentioned. It's either going to be Cam Ward or it's going to be Shedeur Sanders. I think a lot of it depends on the landing spot. I think if it's New York or Las Vegas, I think there's a really good chance that it is Shedeur.
So that's who you're going with?
I'll go. Give me Cam Ward. It'll be Cam Ward. I'll be Cam Ward. Unless you already wrote down Shedeur, then just write down both. I'll get a point.
I've already changed it. All right, just change. Well, very good. I think that makes a lot of sense. Although something tells me Travis Hunter's going to be that guy. I don't know why. I don't think he will be.
He probably deserves to be.
I'm going with Travis Hunter.
But quarterback is at a premium.
I think I'm crazy. How about one more? NBA champ. Who's going to be NBA champs this year?
We touched on it last week. I've paid so little attention to the NBA so far this year, but I saw your list. The Celtics are. It's hard to go against them now. They weren't. Jaylen Brown continues to flush me and make me mad. He's very frustrating to watch, but I still think the Celtics.
Can I take a fluke? I'm going to take a fluke. I mean, why not? Nothing's going to happen to me if I do. I'm going to go with the Oklahoma City team.
Yeah,
Oklahoma City.
That's not a bad pick.
I mean, are they ready? I don't know. Are they mature?
We said that about them last year. I think they are ready now.
Could be. But they are certainly talented, aren't they? They've got a lot of talent on that roster. So I'm going to go with Oklahoma City. Hey, how about give me a Major League Baseball champion?
Can we go NFL first?
You want to go NFL?
Yeah.
Well, I know who you're going to go with. You're going to go with the Chiefs, right?
The Minnesota Vikings.
Oh, I missed that. Okay,
give me the field.
You want the field over the Vikings?
Give me the field over the Chiefs.
Field over the Chiefs. How about the field over the Chiefs or the Vikings?
I would take the Chiefs or the Vikings. Yeah,
I would take the field. Anytime I get the field in the NFL, I take the field.
I mean, that's probably smart.
I think it's the Chiefs.
I'm just a homer. So.
I think it's the Chiefs. I think the Chiefs are playing well. They're going to come rested into the playoffs. I don't know why they can't make another run. Just a small, short burst, that run at the end of the season, get into the Super Bowl. And once they're in the Super Bowl, we both know their chances of winning are pretty good. Last but not least, the NCAA basketball championship.
Unfortunately, I don't think it's going to be Kansas State like many had hoped in the preseason.
Oh, you think?
I like Auburn. I really like this Auburn team.
I think I do too. All right, there's a match right there.
All right,
there you go.
That was some of the best of the year. We're going to take one more break, come back, and start to put a bow on this edition of Sports Daily.
Just because it's 4 o'clock doesn't mean your day's wrapping up. Get the facts first on 12 News at 4. It doesn't matter where you are. In the office, on the road, or on your couch, 12 News is everywhere. Bringing you the story as it happens, catching you up on everything you need to know, and giving you your first look at the next 10 days from Storm Team 12. Watch weekdays on KWCH and KSTW. 12 News at 4. Facts first.
Hey, Wichita, Jim Rome here, celebrating over 25 years as the #1 midday sports talk show on Wichita Radio. Find out why. Tune into The Jungle, weekdays 11 until 2 on 97.5 and 1240 KFH.
Sometimes people tell us, I don't get it, it's just tea. But let me tell you, we are so much more than just tea. With 20 plus flavors of sweet and unsweet iced tea, the possibilities are endless. Come on in and try them all for free to find your favorite or get us on the go for your busy lifestyle. And don't miss happy hour every day. So the next time someone tells you it's just tea, tell them to come by and find out why we say, drink tea, be happy.
Clouds are not just the canvas of our imagination. They tell a story. Clouds affect the events of your day. Sometimes they growl, sometimes they inspire, but they're always the messengers of nature's mood, written in the sky. Storm Team 12 understands the language of clouds. We're dedicated to decoding their message so you know what to expect. Behind every cloud, there is a story waiting to be told. Trust Ross Jansen and Storm Team 12, alerting you first to the impact on your life.
When you need help, remember, you're not alone. We are here. We are neighbors. We are together. We are Kansas. We are 12 News.
They say it takes a village. Come together and support local businesses in our neighborhoods. When you contribute to local shops, more money goes back into the economy. Shopping local makes our state stronger. So give back to the communities you love and watch our businesses and communities thrive. Shop local and be Kansas proud.
We are following a breaking update.
Every day, all day, stream the stories that have you talking near and far.
Whoever is behind the wheel of this bus is not stopping.
From hundreds of local reporters and meteorologists spanning the country.
Chaos here this morning at the UW campus.
Search LNL for the all-new Local News Live streaming app.
Make yourself known now.
8310 in traffic pursuit.
Oh my God, here.
Investigate TV Plus begins with real people.
We investigate stories that impact you.
And inspire change every day.
Something is broken.
Real problems.
Why are they hiding it?
And real solutions.
My daughter was dying in front of me.
What was your reaction when he said that?
Investigate TV Plus, weekdays at 3:30 p.m. on KWCH.
Sometimes people tell us, I don't get it, it's just tea. But let me tell you, we are so much more than just tea. With 20 plus flavors of sweet and unsweet iced tea, the possibilities are endless. Come on in and try them all for free to find your favorite or get us on the go for your busy lifestyle. And don't miss happy hour every day. So the next time someone tells you it's just tea, tell them to come by and find out why we say, drink tea, be happy.
Mornings are busy. We're here to make your mornings better. We report the stories that affect you.
3 more hospital lies from contaminated apple juice just a day after the FDA issue a recall.
We're here to make your mornings better.
Closing east and westbound lanes of K96 for repairs.
With 12 News, you're prepared for your whole day.
Scattered thunderstorms across the state into the afternoon.
Stay a step ahead with 12 News this morning on KWCH and KSCW.
Welcome back in Sports Daily on this Thursday. Final segments of the day. In for Jacob Albrocht and Tammy Castor, I'm Brandon Zenner. That is Paul Savage. Joining me, Chad Chambers, been producing this thing greatly all day long. We hit a lot. Not a big time in sports. We talked about the Chiefs game, 29-10 winners yesterday. We talked about that in the first segment. Remember, you can go back and listen to that in the podcast section of the Odyssey app. We talked about the Rape Bowl with Cole Carmody of Go Power Cat. Remember, that is coming up tonight, 4:30, with pregame starting at 2:30 right here on KFH Radio as well. We got into some of the best that was in Paul's opinions and my opinions that was. Now, we talk about it on our Friday segments all the time. This is the time that teams have a lot to play for, and that includes tonight and all weekend in the NFL. We have a big Thursday night football game coming up between the Seattle Seahawks and the Chicago Bears. They have nothing to play for, but Seattle wins tonight. They're going to set up a NFC West championship game next week in Los Angeles against the Rams. This is the time of year. Yeah, every game means something unless you're, like I said, the Chicago Bears, or some of these teams as well. But Seahawks can set up. We might have multiple division championships on the line next week with the Vikings and the Lions are playing. That could be for the NFC North Championship as well as the number 1 seed. Mm-hmm. We could have Seahawks and Rams playing for the NFC West Championship as well. It's a fun time in the NFL.
Yeah, well, it's time now. And, of course, games that were played in the first week of the regular season have importance as much as the games do now. But games right now put you where you want to be. They'll seed you in. For some teams, they're playing just to get into the playoffs, let alone a seed. They want in. Even if they got to travel the first week, they want in. And a lot of teams, they've got a lot to play for. Seattle's playing for something. Now, it's not for their life to get into the playoffs, but they're playing for something. And that's always important because you need to give yourself – listen, to run through the NFL playoffs and win every game, man, that's tough to do. Only one of these teams is going to do it, and it is so tough to do. So you got to give yourself the best advantages to run through a string of playoff games, and that's part of what the Seahawks are doing.
They're kind of playing for the playoff lives as well because whoever doesn't win the NFC West is not getting a wild card.
That's right. So There you go.
Yeah. So just because you said it off the air, you give you a game, you give you a line, you'll pick it. You know nothing about this game. The Seahawks on the road, -4, 7:15 tonight on Prime at the Chicago Bears, lowly, but only 4-point favorites.
Well, the Chicago Bears are a mess.
That's an
and Jad, correct me if I'm wrong. Who predicted that Caleb Williams would be a disaster in the NFL? Would you mind? Who was that on this show? Would you tell me?
Looking back, you said that.
I did.
I don't think anybody disagreed with you back then.
What? You didn't disagree? Well, I don't remember it quite that way. I remember
he's not so much a disaster as the entire organization.
Yeah, well, that's part of it, but it sure hasn't helped him, has it?
No.
And of course, the firing of Eberflus, I just like Bundarewski. I like saying Eberflus.
Yeah.
But anyway, with that being said, obviously, the Seahawks are going to win this game. What's the point spread? I don't even know.
4.
Oh, easy. I mean, because the Chicago Bears, you know what they're ready for? They're ready.
Cancun.
They're ready to check in the equipment. Those guys got it all ready to go. Throw it in the bag. Let's go. I'm checking it in. But I can tell you right now, the Seahawks got something to play for. The Seahawks cover this with ease.
Now, Caleb Williams, as much as he has been a disaster as far as not making all the plays, the taking a lot of sacks, that has to do with a lot with his offensive line as well. He hasn't thrown a pick since October 13th.
Well, part of that is receivers. He's got a pretty good core of receivers. Yeah. They're not bad. I'm not saying they're as good as some team, but they're good. They're a good core. And part of the problem with sacks, and having watched the Bears earlier in the year, I try to avoid watching them now because I get so frustrated watching them. I just can't take it. But, I mean, earlier in the season, Caleb Williams hung on to the ball a lot. Mm-hmm. He stepped – I mean, he would do whatever he could, but he didn't turn the ball loose, in my view, quick enough on a lot of plays. So part of the problem of sacks is I don't think as much the offensive line as sometimes, you hold the ball long enough, somebody at some point is going to sack you or flush you, one of the two.
And we're also going to get lucky with Saturday. We have a triple header of slate, triple header slates with some playoff implications on the line as well. The Chargers, they're currently the 6th seed. They're going to begin things by going to the Patriots. And then a very, very enticing game, Broncos-Bengals. A couple weeks ago, no one would be saying that this is a really good game. But the Bengals need to win their last 2 games, and they need the Broncos to lose out in order to get in and get that 7th seed in the AFC. Now, the tricky part about that is, the Broncos play next week, the Chiefs, who are sitting everybody. Likely, there's no incentive for them to win. There's no incentive for them to win the game.
1 or 2 series at the most. That's it.
But as much as the Broncos are rivals of the Chiefs hate the Bengals and the Bengals don't like the Chiefs either throughout their history between Jamar Chase versus Patrick Mahomes. So that's gonna be funny next week to see that the Bengals could be left out of the playoffs, not just because of their own undoing. They had a horrible start to the year, but just by the Chiefs simply just giving up and not trying might be the thing that buries the Bengals,
That's right.
Which could be great. And then we also have one with NFC West implications tomorrow night. Cardinals at the Rams as well. Some good football to keep our eye on.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of good football, and I really find it fascinating, even more than most guys. When something's on the line for somebody, I find that fascinating. Now the question is, like, let's use the Bears and the Seahawks, that game that's going to be played. Well, granted, the Seahawks have a lot to play for, don't they?
Yep.
But there's a pride with the Chicago Bears. There's a certain amount of pride, and I know this to be a factor, to be the team to knock somebody out. I mean, you don't even have to dislike the team because you're playing for pride, and there's sort of a certain reward in itself if you're the team and you personally knock another team out of the. That's the way it works. I mean, that's the way men are. That's the way that's the way players are.
It hasn't showed up in 9 weeks on this 9-game losing streak, but sure, yeah.
Well, but the point is, the desire may be there, but the ability to, win may not. But you get my point. So there's always that desire. The team, these guys have pride. They're playing for something. They're playing for their pride. They're playing for future contracts. I mean, trust me, Chicago is going to do all they can to knock these guys out of the play, because there's a possibility they're knocked out if they,
Yeah. And then also some more games with some playoff implications coming up on Sunday. The Bills just need one more win to get the number 2 seed in the AFC. They're going to play the Jets. Should be able to handle them. The Colts are in the mix in the AFC. The Eagles are still in contention for the 1 seed in the NFC. They play the Cowboys. Most likely going to be the 2, it looks like. The big one on Sunday is going to be the Packers and the Vikings. If the Vikings win, sets up, as I said, NFC North Championship and the number 1 seed on the line in Detroit, regardless of what the Lions do coming up next Sunday. We would think that would be a flex to the Sunday night game to cap things off. Then also a good Sunday night football game, the Falcons and the Commanders. The Commanders looking like they're probably going to be the 6th seed. The Falcons still fighting to win the NFC South. So,
yeah, good game. Yeah. And, of course, you got the Packers and the Vikings, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Who do you like better, Darnold or Love?
Well, do you know who my favorite team is?
Yeah, I do. I was being a little facetious on that one.
I don't know. It stinks because Sam Darnold, they said that he cannot be the comeback player of the year because they want comeback to be classified as coming back from an injury or something like that. Sam Darnold just came back from
obscurity,
kind of stinking at football.
Yeah, stinking
for a little bit.
Well, that's a nice technical term. I kind of like that.
Yeah. He's was not good at playing football for good, but then came in and Kevin O'Connell, and it helps when you have Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison and TJ Hawkinson and Aaron Jones. But it's been cool to see what he's been able to do at Minnesota.
Well, it is, and of course, I'll tell you what, I really confess I've missed the boat on Love Jordan Love. I've missed the boat on him. I had problems because he had early in his career, he wasn't exactly lighting it up. I mean, he
was on the bench, yeah,
and he struggled when he was in.
Mm-hmm.
And when he come in for backup, there was always problem, and that kind of set with me for a while. I'll quite truthful. I think he's come a long way. I think Jordan Love has come a long way with regards to becoming a true and quality NFL quarterback, and I think he's on the way. I think my days of short changing him, those days got to be over for me.
Yeah, it is difficult because when you look at the splits, the last 7 weeks of the season are when he turns it on. Last year, I don't think he had a single pick in the last 7 weeks of the year. This year, since I think it's week 11, he doesn't have a pick. So the Packers, they can get him figured out early going. He's had some injury issues early this year. If he can get that figured out, he's gonna be a force to be reckoned with in this league for a long time. So a big Sunday slate. We're gonna, of course, have some of those picks for you coming up tomorrow. Jacob and Tommy will rejoin us. It'll be myself and TJ. Paul will be in as well. 4 picks as we make that. We'll make some college football playoff picks as well. We have to wait till next Wednesday, New Year's Eve. We get Penn State, Boise State in the first game, and then a triple header on Thursday as well. Texas, Arizona State. And then we also have Ohio State, Oregon, Notre Dame in Georgia. It's going to be a fun triple header of college football playoffs. The quarterfinals going on. So I said we're going to make all those picks for you tomorrow, 10 o'clock on Sports Daily right here. A lot to get to.
Hey, wait a second. Can we get a quick preview? Who won last week?
Oh, who won last week?
Who won last Friday?
You did, Paul.
Oh, wait, he did.
I did? Oh, I'm shocked.
You went 5-0?
No, I was 5-1. What do we do with ties when
it's a push? It doesn't even count.
Yeah, it's a push. The game basically doesn't count.
We were both 4-1. We were both 4-1.
Oh, you tied me?
Yeah.
Nice. Good job.
Well, geez, I didn't.
But Paul, you took sole place back of first place because TJ did not have a particularly good week, and so you were now in sole possession of first place.
Well,
you and TJ were split on we thought it was 5 different. You guys were split on every pick last week.
We were every pick, all except for the tie, which we both end up winning.
It's a tie for both.
So it's tie. So yeah, that's right. And he was, he struggled, didn't he?
Yeah, he
and,
did.
And I remember thinking on 6 picks, you go 3-3. That's what usually happens, but not this time. It went against him, didn't it?
So
how big's my lead? 2 or 3 now?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah,
I don't have it up in front of me, but yeah.
You put Jet on the spot.
Well, we'll talk about it tomorrow quite a bit.
So is that going to be your strategy going forward? Just fade TJ whenever he picks it for you? Or?
I'm not going to even bring it up in front of him.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah. So yeah, we have a fun Friday coming up tomorrow. As I said, the full gang is going to be back at least for the segment to begin the 10 o'clock hour. And we also, I don't know if you know this, we have a big announcement coming up tomorrow as well.
Well, I've heard something about it.
At 10 o'clock.
Let's break it right now. Watch Tony come flying in here. Hey, you guys, shut up. That's what he would do.
I really enjoy waking up in mornings, coming in here a little too much to let one announcement get in the way. But yeah, no, Jacob and Tommy will be in here. They're really excited for that. Everyone here at KFH is. And they will have that for you tomorrow. It's going to be a fun Friday. TJ and I will be in here leading the way. We'll talk K-State. We'll get ready for NFL weekend. We're going to make some picks. And as I said, a big announcement.
Big announcement. There you go.
Paul, thanks for joining me today.
Had fun. See everybody.
Chad producing this thing. Thank you. You've been listening to Sports Daily. We'll see you back here tomorrow.